Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this stream at 1 a.m. and 17 minutes. Yeah, I'm lady. Yes, Lucasa. Hello, hello. Why do I have DMs now? I didn't have DMs before, and now I have DMs. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, I hope you're doing well. We are playing Corpse Party Book of Shadows, aka Corpse Party 2. As a reminder, we were in chapter 3. We started the chapter 3 and we had the first choice of this chapter yesterday, and we stopped just before doing this choice because it's a good start to do a chapter 3. We are the National Day of France, the night after the National Day. So I'm a little dizzy. But anyways, I didn't I didn't put on the controller. Wait a minute. So here, and I'm still sick. I still have the cold, but it's so much hot outside and in my room that I have to put the ventilation. So controller here. Okay, and should be good now. Yes, so English somehow ventilation, of course. I'm yeah. The conditioned air, if I remember, it's at my left. Or air conditional, anyways. Air conditioning. Yeah, you see, it's like in France. So Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Please, PPS, Are always doing the first choice between the two choices we have. We are continuing on this way. So the first choice, unless someone else tell me, no, leave the room. Or you can tell me, no, stand at the teacher's podium. You have 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one, and I will stand at the teacher's podium because it's what we are always doing, the first choice since the beginning of the game. So even if it's the wrong end, maybe we will have the wrong end now, maybe not. So let's try. Stand at the teacher's podium. How can I pass this up? It's a chance to feel like a real teacher. I decided I had to try it. Doing daily cleanup and such, I'd come and gone from this spot countless times. But this was the first time I'd ever had an opportunity to just stand here and preside over the classroom. So this is how it looks to a teacher. It's kind of always inspiring. Getting a teacher's point of view in the most literal sense was starting to get me really fired up. It may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This was where all my dreams will play out. Someday, I began to imagine the future that awaited me, painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at the desk, gliding chalk across the board, filling it with information to aid them in their studies. I sure hope I can make the cut one of these days. I was getting so excited that I began to think my behavior was a little strange. Maybe it was the juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions and the prickling dread I'd been feeling up until just a minute or two before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. Coupure de courant! Blackouts! Crap, is this a blackout? Suddenly my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff with shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck the blackboard with a dull thud. What awful timing. I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, it sure picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. And what's more, I can still hear the sound of the organ, but no, it's an electric organ. How is that even possible? Whoa. You must not go! Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic. As far as I was aware, how could I didn't read because I misclicked? Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or a psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head. I need to calm down. Maybe it's just this wing that lost power and the music room is still okay. That seems plausible, right? I carried my chalk-dusted fingers into a fist and silently tried to talk some sense into myself. I've got to get out of here. I should have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself so little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. I'd spent so much time in here, you would think I'd be able to find my way out of it with my eyes closed, as it were. But sadly, that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk, I knocked it on its side and began tumbling after it, instinctively grabbing at the other desks around me for support. Yui! Damn it, sounds like I can knock a lot of stuff out of that desk. Guess I need to put everything back. Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing at standstill. I can't tell what's what. This is so embarrassing. And what the heck am I doing anyway? Wasn't I supposed to be airing up? I'm such a what? I'm such a klutz. That's a German word. I let out a sig. I seem to be doing a lot lately. Okay, this is a textbook and this is a notebook, right? Thank you, Yui. I was trying to take inventory of all the things I'd knocked out of the desk, then realized why. I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in. I cannot possibly organize it properly in the absolute darkness. Better just to apologize tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. Explaining why I wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it would serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. If I didn't say anything, it's not like I would be found out, but that would be the same as lying, as far as I'm concerned, and I couldn't do that. Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and swept it around, feeling for anything I might have missed. And I found something alright. Gross, what is this? It's slimy. I clearly brushed up my fingers across something, but I had no idea what. It was no notebook, no writing paper. Why would anybody have something like this in their desk? Maybe it had been on the floor all along. What is this stuff? I rubbed my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot, then brought my hand up close to my face so I could get a better look at what was there. What on earth did I just touch? There was a flash of lightning almost immediately joined by a roaring thunderclap, and with it, for a split second, the pitch-black classroom was lit up bright as day. My God! What the hell? I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I'd gotten a very good look at my fingers, and it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand. No. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained in deep, dark crimson. Crap, it kinda smelled like blood in here too. Without thinking, I backed away from where I'd been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured? This is impossible. It can't be. I mean, how? My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee. What? Why won't it open? No, please, no. I don't remember locking it, and it isn't locked. So why can't I get it open? I pulled on the door again and again in a frenzy. I was pulling so hard it felt like my fingernails might tear loose. Oh, we have the wrong hand, guys. We have the fucking wrong hand. But it just wouldn't budge. Why? Why, please? I was absent-mindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand and slammed my fist on the nearby desk with the other. This was a nightmare. No, what is going on? Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart. Calm down, I have to calm down. I'm probably just panicking because of the door won't open. I'm sure I just misidentified whatever that is on the floor. I mean, it's preposterous, right? There's no way something like that could be certain that when I saw what it actually was come morning, it would end up being something totally random, like someone's whole soda stain gym clothes. Sure, that has to be it. Yeah, I probably just brushed against somebody's paint for art class or something. My imagination was running wild because I was panicking, and the door probably just has something caught in it. That's all. I decided to check out that hypothesis by feeling my way across the door and determining if anything was jutting out from any of the cracks. I'm not sure I can do this without being able to see. I fumbled around the gaps in the door, but I just couldn't make anything out that way. Maybe there's another exit? No, this was the third floor. I couldn't get out of here without exiting into the hallway. Let me out, I want out. Still at a loss, I noticed a sudden flash of light through the hallway window, but the glass was only translucent, so I couldn't be sure of its source. Is somebody out there? Then there came the distinctive clump, clump, clump of footsteps. Of course, must it be the custodian? I recall the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I'm sure he was probably taking a look around after the student outrage. Great, I'm saved. All at once, my feathered legs regained their strength. This nightmare would soon be over. Excuse me. I shouted the custodian at the top of my lungs through the window. Excuse me, I'm trapped in here. I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However, something not right about this. But a bit took a step away from the window. That's a flashlight. Shouldn't it be brighter? It kind of looks like a faint, unearthly glow, classically attributed to spirits. But that was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought, however. Done aside, it also looked like it was wiggling around in a very unnatural and very unflashlight-like way. These footsteps. Clump, 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 four clumps. Then a 3 or so second interval. Then another four clumps. They were sounding in a fixed rhythm. That's not custodian. Nobody walks like that. The fear was back in full force. I have to find somewhere to hide. My god, there will be a screamer, I guess? I hope no. What if I would accidentally summon something inhuman? I mean, whatever that was, I begged it for help. I literally invited it in. Need to hide, but where? Oh God, bro! No, 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 no! I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, let's save. We continue on the first supply locker. Okay, yes. So I guess we will go at the supply locker because this is the first choice. I hurriedly squeezed myself into the metal locker where the classroom's cleaning supplies were kept. It was still pitch black in the room, so I really couldn't spare the time it will take to remove its contents. Instead, I just contorted myself to fit. The locker was thick, with the smells of mold and varnish. If I can hold my breath just for a little while, I think I'll be safe in here. So I waited, and for the footsteps to pass by and fade into the distance, signaling that it was safe to emerge. Wherever it is, I'd better hurry. I feel like I'm going to suffocate. I'm in here much longer. Still, it felt a lot safer in the locker than it did out in the room. But the footsteps weren't receding. They were just getting louder, closer, faster. Ratat, ratatatatatatatatata, ratatatatata, ratatatatata, ratata. And then they came to a sudden halt. They were close, just outside the locker. My God. I peered through the ventilation holes amidst the utter darkness of the classroom. There wasn't a soul to be seen. I'm okay. As long as I stay in here, I'll be fine. I'm not sure why I believed that, but maybe because I needed to. Maybe because it was so dark, or because I felt so much calmer in such a tight space where nothing could possibly sneak up behind me. I didn't know why, and I didn't care. I just knew that, as far as I was concerned, I was safe in here, so I stood, motionless and cramped, and I waited. I didn't have to wait long. What was that? It sounded like a door locking. Suddenly apprehensive, I gently nudged the supply closet door just to make sure it would still open for me when I wanted it to. Oh my God. We are stuck in the locker room. Ah, damn it. That's a big wrong end. I think it's Sachan or what's her name? I don't have the name of Sachan mother. And I thought I suddenly about this unknown voice and tried with all my might to push open the door, blocking my escape. Please, let me out, let me out. Is somebody still here? You'll never, you'll need to be punished for that. There was a brief moment of silence following the eerie voice, unsettling proclamation, and then crash, crunch, the metal walls around me on all four sides began rapping in words. Guys, Moyo Corridor, he is here. As if the supply locker had somehow been fell into a trash compactor. There was no force I could imagine that should have been able to do this, but it was happening. This already confined space was steadily closing. in on me. It hurts. Open the door, let me out. Crash, crash. The collapse of the locker all around me continued, slowly, steadily. I could feel all manner of things pushing and cutting into my body. And blood. My vision went bright red. What? One of the blood vessels in my eyes probably burst from the pressure. I wasn't going to last much longer. The ventilation holes in the locker door were now pressed right up against my face, and through them I could just barely make out the figure of a person. It was the old woman from this morning. She was standing just outside the slats, staring right into my eyes. It was the last sight I would ever see as the locker finally, inevitably smashed in my skull. Crash, crunch, crack, splat. Wrong and shit. Painful. That is painful. Wrong and two. That's not even the first wrong end. Okay. Shame on me. Shame on me. That's all. Big shame. So I guess we stop on this wrong end because it's like an episode. We did the wrong end. Okay. We'll see what we will do next time. But that was surprising to see Yui use this like that. Anyways, thank you for watching this 40 minutes of stream and see you later.